What's up, Broward fam? My name is Jahson, and I work with the music ministry here at Broward Church. For today's devotional, we'll be reading John chapter 13, verses 1 through 17. It was just before the Passover festival. Jesus knew that the hour had come for him to leave this world and go to the Father. Having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. The evening meal was in progress, and the devil had already prompted Judas, the son of Simon Iscariot, to betray Jesus. Jesus knew that the Father had put all things under his power and that he had come from God and was returning to God. So he got up from the meal, took off his outer clothing, and wrapped a towel around his waist. After that, he poured water into a basin and began to wash his disciples' feet, drying them with the towel that was wrapped around him. He came to Simon Peter, who said to him, "Lord, are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus replied, "You do not realize now what I'm doing, but later you will understand." "No," Peter said, "you shall never wash my feet." Jesus answered, "Unless I wash you, you have no part with me." "Then, Lord," Simon Peter replied, "not just my feet, but my hands and my head as well." Jesus answered, "Those who have had a bath need only to wash their feet. Their whole body is clean. And you are clean, though not every one of you." For he knew who was going to betray him, and that was why he said not everyone was clean. When he had finished washing their feet, he put on his clothes and returned to his place. "Do you understand what I have done for you?" he asked them. "You call me teacher and Lord, and rightly so, for that is what I am. Now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you should also wash one another's feet. I have set you an example that you should do as I have done for you. Very truly I tell you, no servant is greater than his master, nor is a messenger greater than the one who sent him. Now that you know these things, you will be blessed if you do them." And I love this passage because it is such a clear display of Jesus' character. I love this, and it really does remind me to trust God, to trust Jesus, because I may not understand what's going on now, but there's the possibility that I will understand it in the future. I also love how Jesus was talking to the disciples like in such a fatherly way, such a warm way. And it reminds me of this by when he says like, "You don't understand this now, but you will." And as a child growing up for me, I was just so prideful, so prideful. I thought I had all the answers. I thought I knew what I was doing all the time. I thought I didn't need any advice. I didn't need help. And my dad was just always there. No matter what I was going through, he would always tell me, "Hey, if you do end up needing help, then I'm here for you. I got you." And at the time, I never really asked him for help. But as I grew up, I started to realize that he was right a lot of the time. That both of my parents were right. They were just trying to help me. But I didn't understand it then when I was a child. I understood it so much later in my life. And I feel like Jesus is speaking with the same tone in this passage. That we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know how things are going to resolve in our lives or how the COVID-19 is going to turn out. We don't know any of these things. But he's telling us to trust him. He's telling me that I have to trust him, regardless of what is going on in my life. And Jesus knew that he was not only setting his own legacy, but he was also setting the legacy for the church and for his people to come, which is really incredible. And something that I want to be learning through this passage is just to trust Jesus. To trust Jesus no matter what I'm going through. I won't always have the answers, and I may not always understand it, but I want to trust him. Trust him now because eventually I will understand, or I may understand. And I'm so grateful for this encouragement that he gives us in the scriptures. But that's it for the devotional today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love you, Broward fam. Jesus loves you. Stay safe.